Find someone that's just that one step further than you and ask that person for advice.
What's going on? Hope you guys are having a great day so far. I got a special guest here. I got Mr. Joshua Daniel George. You want to tell us who you are, what you do? Decide to give the full name there, man.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, guys, so my name is Joshua Daniel George, like full name, full title. I used to be called Joshua Daniel Fitness on Instagram, but nowadays it's Joshua Daniel George. Based in the Netherlands, got my own social media marketing agency. Used to do like online fitness and nutrition coaching, hence the Joshua Daniel Fitness name on Instagram. And then, to be honest, after a while, I realized that like the people I was coaching, like they wasn't as motivated as, like they wasn't as passionate about fitness as I was. So I sort of like slowly lost the passion for coaching. And then I thought to myself, okay, so what do I actually like doing? And it turns out that I really do like content creation, you know, being creative on the internet, doing social media, like building up like a personal brand. So I thought to myself, okay, then maybe I need to start doing more like offering my services of building like a social media presence for businesses. And then obviously I came across Ty Lopez's course, and like the rest is history. Basically, that's what I've been doing ever since.
Now, with what you said with fitness, I've had the same experience. I used to do like online fitness things because I used to do it for myself. I'm like, hey, I can make some money doing this.
Yeah.
Reason why I stopped was people didn't put in the effort, and I felt like I was training like and coaching for myself, and I'm like, this makes no sense. So I know what you're talking about. But even when you said you like creating content, so you got like an Instagram following of what, like 14,000, like 15,000 sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're posting like high quality images, but then your YouTube, like, guys, he actually like does vlogs and like cinematics and stuff. It's not like me where it's just like this kind of video or like me just on my tripod. So he is a content creator. He is a creative, which is awesome, and that does carry over into your business, as you were saying, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's funny because a lot of people ask me like, do you actually earn money off YouTube and Instagram and all that? And the answer is no. Like you don't.
You're earn nothing.
No, not directly anyway. But when I approach businesses for social media marketing and social media advertising, I do actually show my social media profiles and my personal brand, as they call it. And they immediately, they're so convinced that I can offer them a high quality service that they sort like my social media closes them on the spot, basically.
Okay, that was something I was going to ask you too, like your opinion on how important a personal brand is. I think that said it yourself, because would you say a huge percentage, sorry, I think I was covering my mic there. Do you think that a huge percentage of your clients come or agree because of your personal brand?
I think almost like, all of them, to be honest.
Almost?
Yeah, definitely, because every single meeting I've been with a client, I've spoken about my personal brand, I've spoken about my social media, I've showed them my social media. And almost all of them have either come directly from my social media or have like been convinced to go with my services after seeing my social media accounts.
Because if you talk all the shit you can do, when you actually do it, they're like, wow, he can do it.
Exactly.
So, like, I know I preach about personal branding. I actually just filmed a video with someone else in Toronto. Like, we recorded it live, so I'm not going to go in depth there. But that just, again, proves to show why you need to build your personal brand. Because, like you said, you built your business off of your personal brand, like, without even knowing it, but it happened.
Definitely, yeah.
That's awesome. So now, how, like, you started all of this, like, how did you actually get into, even just, like, getting into YouTube? Why did you pick up the camera? Like, what's your kind of, like, quick little back down, like, 2-minute pitch on who you are, like, the story?
So, to be honest, Instagram, I started Instagram first.
Let's bring it back.
Yeah, let's go way back. So
social media.
Yeah, so
baby boy, bring it back.
I started my Instagram account, just like document my journey. I was recovering from a shoulder injury, so I started posting like fitness related content, but for myself mostly. Because I was a student and I was balancing like fitness and like the student lifestyle, I sort of like attracted like a certain audience. You know, everyone else that was trying to balance fitness with being a student, going out and having a social life. So I started building the following up because I was quite relatable. You know, I wasn't this big, massive guy with a six-pack and stuff like that. Like, I was just trying to be
You were
fit,
living a lifestyle.
exactly, while being like social basically. And in the end, I thought like, okay, people are inspired or motivated by what I'm posting on Instagram. Let's see if I can document it in video form as well. Also, like I used to be quite introverted, and I was slowly getting over being an introvert and trying to like put myself out there more. So I thought, you know what, let's take it to the next level and do it in video form.
Okay, back to the introvert. I used to be the same way. A year ago, I would not be like a year ago. I was at my school. I was the shyest kid ever because I used to give a fuck what people thought.
Yeah.
As soon as I got that thought out of my head, it changed. What was your moment? Was it picking up the camera, or did you kind of have like an awakening where you're like, no, like screw everyone else. I wanted to do this. Like, what was your carryover from being an introvert to? I don't even like to call myself an I hate labeling myself, but how did you change to go from nothing to like us even being on this call on social media? That's how we connected.
Yeah, I understand. So basically, my granddad was like, he was an entrepreneur, and he was actually the reason why, like, I'm based in the Netherlands, but as you can hear from my accent, I'm English. And he was the person who actually came over to the Netherlands to start his own like entrepreneurial venture.
Love it.
And then came me after a while. But he always used to say to me, we owe them nothing, meaning like stand by what you believe in and don't let anyone else's belief or opinion stop you from being you. And when he passed away, I actually started like assessing like, what am I actually doing in my life? Why am I so introverted? And really need to start like living like according to the way he used to live, basically just on his own terms. And that sort of like triggered the whole, let's just do what I want to do, like, thing.
That's awesome. So you basically put a polite way of saying, like, fuck you to the people who aren't going to help you out.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. And everyone should be doing that, because I know personally when I talk about this all the time, but as soon as I basically said, like, F you to the people who were bringing me down, I skyrocketed up.
Exactly.
Personally, business everywhere, and, like, you found the same carryover, because I feel like when one person says it, no one believes one person, but like when it's a real thing, and like you've had experience, like you know it works, and it was life changing.
Definitely, yeah.
Awesome. So I remember talking to you before. We've hopped on a couple calls, been texting back and forth. I know you're like, you remember you mentioned your grandpa before. He did get you started with business, and my next question was, how did you like create Brandpreneur? Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, Brandpreneur, yeah.
Brandpreneur, and like the movement behind it, because you didn't just create like slap a name on a business, you're actually creating a movement, and then from what I remember, that had a lot to do with your grandpa, right?
Yeah, well, that just like started the whole like process of me trying to live life on my own terms. And like I said before, like,
I'll link your video. I'll make that the first link.
Oh yeah, that'll be
that was actually that's an awesome video.
Yeah, that'll be much appreciated. But so after, like, while I was doing the fitness coaching, I actually graduated university, and I got in this like I wouldn't say depression, but I started really thinking like, okay, what am I going to do with my life now? Do I really want to keep doing the fitness part of it? It wasn't earning like a lot of money or anything like that, and I thought to myself, it's sort of like I had this like epiphany moment where it just all clicked, and I realized that no, I shouldn't be teaching people fitness. I should actually be showing people how to like live life on your own terms as well, because it helped me along as well. So I started documenting like how to live life on your own terms, and I don't really like the term entrepreneur, and I want to sort of like it is like entrepreneurship, but I want to show people how to like become a personal brand, or how to earn money from your passion, earn profit from your passion. And I don't know, I just came up with the name Brandpreneur, and I thought, okay, so you got Brandpreneur, I'm going to make an agency out of it, or I'm going to make a movement out of it. And I thought, you know what, let's just do both. It'll be my social media agency, because that's what I like doing, being creative, but it also stands for the movement of people to stand up and live life on their own terms.
Which is such a great message, because like it's sort of what I go about, but I just preach like do what you love and like do what you're passionate about, but same sort of thing. And that's why we from our first call, I remember like our first call, we ended up talking for like an hour.
Yeah,
on, like,
just
our
the vibe.
Face-to-face call, just because there's a vibe, and like that's when like you're connected with the right people. I always preach that, like, have your good group of people, and like you're someone from the Netherlands who it's like I know in person, who I've known for years.
Yeah.
But it all comes back to because we're both doing what we love. We both built our personal brand. I think that's awesome. And the fact that you didn't just create a social media marketing agency, like I get a lot of people like they create like ABC Media, which is great, but they're just creating like a business. But you're creating a movement, and within your movement, you're creating a business to even further grow your movement, which I love, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, I didn't want a JD Media or anything like that. I wanted to be more than just, you know, an agency.
And like nothing wrong with that. If you just want to create a business, go for it. But I like the way you went at it. And that's why with me, like I'm not labeling myself as a marketing company because that's just step one. And there's 100 other steps that I'm going to get to because I want my face around the fucking world.
Exactly, yeah.
Like that's the way it's going to be. And just looking at it like that. Now a little bit, getting a little bit more deep there. I'm presuming you look up to your grandpa a lot. Like he got you started, but who else do you like look up to that like maybe someone like with me, like someone who you're doing it for or someone who you look up to? It's like broad, just like first thing that pops in your head, who do you look up to?
Yeah, to be honest, that's quite a difficult question, but very interesting as well because there's not like a certain person who I actually like look up to. It's like I really do believe in that. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yes.
So I just try and surround myself with as many people that are that know more than me, basically. So try and surround myself with the right amount of people. And even if that's through books, like if there's no one in your direct like network that can help you get to that next level or someone you can look up to, you know, find that person in books. You know, books are basically like mentors that you can, you know, open up and read their entire life story
over and over and over again.
Exactly. So there's to come back to your question, there's not actually a certain individual that like I look up to, but like I'm really big fan of reading, and I just look up to so many different individuals that have achieved more or achieved something that I'm trying to achieve, and then just try and soak up their knowledge.
That's awesome. And surround yourself with people who make you look like shit in a good way.
Exactly.
Like I'm very blunt, but then that's the way it is. Like you look at the people who can help you get to where they are, and then you're gonna help other people, and then you're gonna keep going up. So that's awesome. That's sort of me. I don't look like people ask me who's your favorite like influencer on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And now this one, I know you've got a good opinion on this. We've talked about this before. What is your thoughts on quote unquote influencers?
Yeah, it's like nowadays everyone's an influencer and everyone's like an entrepreneur. Everyone's CEO of their own like blog on, you know, internet and stuff like that. And I think same goes for entrepreneurship. Like you don't call yourself an influencer, you don't call yourself an entrepreneur. Like that's something what you get called, but you don't actually call yourself that. And I think that like influencer nowadays just means you've got a big following, when I think that if you're an influencer, you're trying to positively impact, you know, other people.
Yes.
Yeah, rather than just have the following.
Because it's all about like, I know it's like if you wanted to get to 100K followers, you do that in 6 months to a year, like easily. So possible.
If you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to, it's you could get to there in a couple months. It would cost a lot of money, but you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing is, like you said, you have people and you actually influence people, not just a large number where you're going to get a drop shipper to recommend their product to your large audience. There's people have their own places, but that's why we connected so well, because you understand that like you're not just an influencer because you have 10,000 followers. You can be a real influencer and have 10 people following you, because those are 10 people's lives who you're going to change.
Exactly.
No, I knew you would have a good thought on that, so I wanted to ask you that. Getting a little bit out of there. So how you got started, we know how you went all about this, building brandpreneur, even just the content creation you learned from your grandpa, but how did you further advance where you were? So you went from the idea to actually, like, I'm sure learning, but then like what was the change, whether it be a coach or a course, anything like that brought you to that next level?
Yeah, to be honest, it was like for the first 6 months, all I done was just learn and try and get as much knowledge as possible, but the one thing that I didn't do was apply it, you know, execute. And I got to that point where I was like, in theory, I was an expert on the whole social media landscape, but I didn't do anything with it, so nobody knew I actually had the knowledge, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have the testimonial or the the proof that I could actually do it. And then I just started doing a few like very cheap or free videos, you know, just to get my name out there. And then like from doing free content, basically, you know, I got a few,
like this was for businesses or individuals, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So from there, you know, once you've got like something as proof that you can actually like create good content, or you can set up like a social media ad or something like that. From there, you know, people start seeing it, and then people start coming to you. So, you know, like people are always scared to do free stuff or free work. You know, it just start with doing something for free, and the testimonials will come in, and you can just start from there.
Well, that's what the last piece of advice, because I recorded on Josh's channel and he's recording for mine. That was the last thing I said. Work for free.
Yeah.
You guys can check out that video, get both sides of this conversation. But now with that, you did learn what was like a course or even a coach, because I know you've done both that brought you from here to like here. Like what was that? What was that one? What was that two? I know you mentioned ties. I know you're taking Brad, but like what would you recommend for someone to get started after they've done their research and that they're ready to invest in themselves and take it next level?
Yeah.
What would you recommend?
So it's like a lot of people hate on Tai Lopez's course. Like they say like it's not good enough and it's outdated and stuff like that. But Tai Lopez actually did give me like the foundation. Like it's a very broad course, and sometimes you do like sort of lose your way. And but just to get like a basic understanding of all the different aspects of social media marketing and social media advertising, I thought that like that was my foundation. Like I don't think if I wouldn't have done that course, I wouldn't have like taken the next step basically. And like you said, like I think we're both like doing Brad Riley's or have done Brad Riley's course. Brad Riley's course is about like social media. It's about like automation and outsourcing. So it's how to build a 6-figure business, but with like the least amount of you in the process. Basically, like he removes himself from the business, and he actually he works on the business rather than actually in the business, and that just blew my mind.
We both know it is an IPA which has to be done.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like that course just blew my mind. I couldn't believe like how he done it and how easy it was. Like how he explained it. It was just so easy and so simple that once you start applying his knowledge, you can just scale your business so much quicker if you're not actually in the business yourself.
Yeah. No, and I think from what I've taken so far from it, I think it's amazing just the fact that you're able to do that. And like I said, that's something that I believe in too, and it was game changing, especially because Brad's a very smart guy in business, smart person, so that was game changing. We'll leave it as is, but yeah, definitely both of those I completely agree upon, and really good from there. Now, I really like when you asked me this question: what is the best thing you've done for yourself? And then this is the last question before I hit you with some fun questions.
The best thing I've done for myself in terms of like what self-improvement or just in general is...
It's open to you. Table's open.
Okay, so...
If it was making your bed this morning, awesome. If it was something 5 years ago for something yesterday, I don't care. You answer this.
Yeah, okay, so the best thing I've done for myself... to be honest, it was actually a group decision. Like, I've had the same group of friends since I was like 4 years old. And like obviously when you get to your teenage years, you know, you start like partying a bit more, you start going out, you start drinking, you start living
having fun.
Yeah, basically you start having fun. And it got to the point where like we were all failing in like school as well as in like other parts of life. And we had quite a large group, but a smaller group within like the larger group of mates. We all decided together like, okay, you know what? Let's just turn this around. Let's actually next year when we go back to school, let's really start grinding. Let's just finish the school on a win. Basically, let's if one person does it, it's not gonna happen because there's so many people around you that aren't doing the best. But if we all do our best, then we can actually make something happen, and we can actually improve ourselves basically. And it was funny because the year before we were all like messing about, like we weren't really paying attention, not doing our homework. And the year after, we just all kept our mouths shut, and we actually, we passed like what it is, secondary school. But because it was a group decision, it was just so much easier to get it done.
So just like you said before, surrounding yourself with like the 5 people, your top 5 that you surround yourself with shape your life. So that's that's a true life story. I had a similar experience. I've talked about it before, but that's great that you changed your life and how you said you couldn't have done it on your own. So when you're lucky enough, no, when you're like, if you have a group like that, be grateful, because like, would you be where you were now if it wasn't for that?
No, definitely not. Because like
Awesome.
you just get into like vicious cycle of, you know, like partying and going out and all that. And if
And I've been there.
yeah, it's just, if you surround yourself with the right people, then you just get so much further.
Yeah, that was the same way. I know exactly what that's like. So now I'm going to hit you with some fun questions. We'll keep them short. You called it the lightning round. I like it. We'll go with there. So what's your favorite color?
Favorite color, red.
All right, now what's your why?
Ooh, that's not a lightning round question. That my why, just positively impact as many people as possible, and even if that's one person, then that's completed.
Love it. Now, what's your favorite number?
7.
How come?
No, I did. That was my like jersey number in football.
Okay. No, I only asked that because I remember I listened to Gary Fee podcast, and he goes like this in his pictures because his favorite number is 5.
Is that why he does that? Yeah, I was wondering why he does.
Yeah, and it's actually, I think it's a really good psychology thing because it represents his favorite player of the Jets, and since his ultimate goal in life is to like buy the Jets,
yeah,
I think that's really good because just by doing this, he's able to represent the every time I see my hand like this, I'm gonna buy the Jets. I thought that was really cool.
Wow, that's powerful. That I didn't know that.
Yeah, so maybe in every picture you need to start going like this. I think if I was gonna do it's got to be on one hand, but
yeah,
that was good. Now, are you doing what you love?
How am I doing what I love?
Are you doing what you love?
Oh, yes.
Good. Now, who are you doing this for? Everything you're doing, late night grinds, early mornings, the hustle, who is it for?
Myself and my family.
Okay. How come for your family?
Because I think, like, without my family, I wouldn't be here, so... it starts with my granddad. Obviously, like, if my granddad didn't come to Holland, then my life would be so much different, and I might not have actually done all this. So I just want to like give back. Like, it's a sort of like legacy thing, maybe as well.
Yeah. No, I love that. Just because I remember when our first call, we both talked about how we don't want to buy like a Lamborghini, for example. We're doing this to have financial freedom for ourselves, and then the first thing we're both going to do is pay our family back.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome. Now, when are you quitting your job?
Ooh, I actually had a conversation about this today with my job.
Like actually with like your employer, like at your job, have you mentioned this?
You know, I haven't mentioned I'm gonna like maybe quit, but I've actually discussed that I'm not gonna work any more extra hours. Just gonna do like 2 shifts because it's part time. It's like 11 hours a week, and then like other than that, I'm not gonna do anything else. So let's just start with this, and then maybe a few months down the line, I actually need to pull the trigger.
And you've got a good job because you work at a gym, you're in the fitness, so honestly, something like that, two days a week, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I love doing it.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but I wanted to hit you with that. Now, that was a little bit of an interesting lightning round. I wanted to catch you off guard with some of the more deeper questions, they were real, and the best part is you didn't plan for that. Now, this is the end of the video. I want to end it here. You have like 20 words. What would you tell not 20 words, like 20 seconds, one tip for a young person, whether they're an entrepreneur, whether they're not, we're not even a young person, just for a person, what kind of tip could you give them?
Find someone that's just that one step further than you and ask that person for advice.
I love it. That's
short and sweet.
Yeah, right there. That was perfect. That was 20 words or less, 20 seconds or less. I love it. So I want to thank you. First off, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks to Josh here because he actually came up with this idea. I recorded my half of this interview on his channel beforehand. And this was actually really good. We talked before, but I learned so much about you. I feel like you've learned more about me. This was good. I hope it provided you guys with value. His YouTube channel is going to be down there. Better than my channel. Check it out. His Instagram is going to be linked down there. And any sort of thing we talked about, whether it be a course or a book or anything like that, or people, we'll link that down below just so provide you guys with resources. Thank you. You want to say
Yes, thanks for having me. Yeah, definitely. Guys, thanks for watching and thanks for having me on the channel.
This was good. No problem. All right. Peace out, guys. See you later.
With all this jewelry on you, my roof look like a no-show. Got diamonds by the bolo. Come with the Tony Homo for clowns and all the balls. Or AP go inside.